Great. Now let us get started with the actual definition of information security. Information security, sometimes abbreviated as InfoSec, is a set of practices intended to keep data secure from unauthorized access or alterations, both when it's being stored and when it's being transmitted from one machine to physical location or another machine on a different computer. You might sometimes see it referred to as data security. As knowledge has become one of the 21st century's most important assets, I hope you remember assets, efforts to keep information secure have correspondingly become increasingly important. Now, because information technology has become the accepted corporate buzz phrase, that means basically computers and related stuff, you will see sometimes information security and cybersecurity used interchangeably. Now, strictly speaking, as I already told you, I would differentiate between these two terms. Cybersecurity is the broader practice of defending IT assets from attacks, and information security is a specific discipline under the cybersecurity umbrella. Now, obviously, there's some overlap here. You can't secure data transmitted across an insecure network or manipulated by a leaky application. As well, there is plenty of information that isn't stored electronically that also needs to be protected. Thus, InfoSecurity's prom it is to necessary being the security perspective to make it broader and available for every organization. Information security determines what information needs to be protected, why it should be protected, how it should be protected, and what the information should be protected. These four questions are very important when it comes to information security. What information needs to be protected, why it should be protected, how, and what. Now, by protecting the organization against threats and vulnerabilities, information security reduces the risk and the impact to its asset. Through a risk assessment, threats to assets are identified, vulnerability to and likelihood of occurrence is evaluated, and the potential impact is then estimated. Now, ISO IEC 27005, that is the Information Security Risk Management. Information security is the preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and the availability of information. In addition to these properties of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, accountability, authenticity, authorization, non-repudiation, and reliability can also be involved, but ultimately it comes down to the triplet of the CIA, that is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Information security is very important. Now, as I said, the basic components of information security are most often summed up by the CIA triad. In an ideal world, your data should always be kept confidential in its correct state and available. Of course, you often need to make choices about which information security principles to emphasize. If you're storing sensitive medical information, for instance, you'll focus on confidentiality, whereas a financial institution might emphasize data integrity to ensure that nobody's bank account is credited or debited incorrectly. Let us have a look at some other definitions. Now, governance of information security. Governance is a system by which an organization's information security activities are directed and controlled. Information security event. It is an event occurrence of a system, service, or a network state indicating a possible breach of information security policy or failure of controls, or a previously unknown situation that can be security relevant. Information security incident. Now, incident is a single or a series of unwanted or unexpected information security events that have a significant probability of compromising business operations and threatening the information security of your organization. And as I explained earlier, non-repudiation is the ability to prove the occurrence of a claimed event or the action and its originating entities. Well, this was it for this lecture. The main focus of this lecture was for you to understand the definition of information security, and I hope you have understood it, and all that points to is the CIA triad, which we'll be exploring in the next lecture.